Welcome back to Nightcast. There's a new campaign aimed at slowing down a deadly epidemic. Over the last 20 years, opioid overdose deaths have been increasing in Minnesota. In the last few years, they have skyrocketed. Tonight, the American Heart Association spoke to us about this new push to get more people familiar with CPR. As Ben Henry reports, this is expected to save lives.
Justin Bell is a CPR instructor with the American Heart Association. For those not familiar with the life-saving act, Bell says the best thing you can do is try.
It can be the difference between life and death. Like when someone drops, if they're not breathing normally and they're unconscious or their heart stops beating, they're dying in front of you.
To get more people familiar, they've started a new campaign with a focus on something that's out of control: opioid overdose deaths.
Do we expect this campaign to save lives?
We absolutely expect this campaign to save lives, yeah.
In this recently released video, they outline what should be done, from yelling for help, calling 911, starting CPR, to a key part of it, giving what's called rescue breaths, something needed during an overdose.
They need breath, and oftentimes an overdose, more times than not, overdoses are happening to people of a younger generation. And it's not usually their heart that's the problem in that type of overdose. It's rather they're just not getting enough air.
Captain Dale Hager with the White Bear Lake Police Department is working alongside the American Heart Association.
You look at the campaign and you can't help but say to yourself, it must be pretty bad if we're teaching the public it's important to perform CPR in light of an overdose.
It's becoming far worse than even the word crisis.
Captain Hager said his officers have seen it in the field, and numbers from the Minnesota Department of Health support the push to help. Minnesota has seen a steady increase in opioid overdose deaths. In 2000, there were 54. 20 years later, 678. The Department of Health also reports the deaths are disproportionate, showing American Indians are 7 times more likely to die from a drug overdose than their white neighbors.
Over the last few years, what has the task force seen in the community in regards to opioid use?
It's been an explosion.
Sharon Day is the executive director of the Indigenous Peoples Task Force. Rooted in their work is helping the community overcome drug abuse. They welcome this campaign.
I think the more mainstream organizations that get involved, the better. And because they have contacts with the public policy decision makers, and we can use all the help we can get.
With 47 years of sobriety herself, Day's work has always been personal. Recently, it became much more personal. 28-year-old Joey Nash died in November. It was an overdose that took Day's grandson away from her.
We've helped many youth find a better life. And did I ever think, one of my grandchildren would be one of those statistics? Never.
Day says there's no magic formula to stop this. Work like this helps, but adds a lot of it starts at home.
We need to love our children, provide them with structure and discipline, and instill in them, the hope for the future.
The American Heart Association says to expect to see and hear about this new campaign. We have a link to the CPR video that shows what to do in light of a drug overdose right now under the Featured on 5 tab of KSTP.com.
It could definitely save lives. And Ben, it was mentioned that those rescue breaths are key in this, and that's something CPR trainers haven't actually taught in a while.
Right, that mouth to mouth. For the most part, they do CPR training for cardiac arrests, and they have moved away from teaching the rescue breaths. But as opioid overdose deaths skyrocketed, they've learned the main concern is with people not getting enough air, making those rescue breaths so important. But of course, calling 911 should always be step one.
Absolutely. Ben Henry, thank you so much.